is.
It's not.
Tig. Okay, well, here it is. Please welcome Tig Notaro.
Welcome to the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Tig, I love your comedy.
Do you?
I love it.
I appreciate that.
You have a specific thing where you it's very grounded and you let it breathe, and I love the kind of comedy where it almost gets uncomfortable and then it gets comfortable again,
and then it gets really
and it gets hilarious.
And then some people leave and ask why that just happened. You know,
I love that shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you like it. Did you just find out about me when I was judging your podcast?
Oh,
no. We have heard about you. We hear things.
No way.
You heard
on
through
the
the
street.
grapevine. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because, that's the first time we ever talked was I was a judge.
Yeah.
For your
And you
podcast.
said that my voice sounded like a college DJ.
Yeah.
Which is really nice because I feel really self-conscious about my voice.
You have a great voice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's so nice to hear. The chair, was it on Kimmel?
Oh, on Conan when I pushed
Conan.
the stool.
So great.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, when they wanted me to come back on Conan, I was like, yeah, I wanted to push a stool around on stage, and they're like, okay.
Is that where that was born?
No, I was
Okay.
doing a show in Seattle, and when I was performing, I moved the stool just slightly on stage while I was performing, and it
Okay.
made a weird noise, and the audience all together started laughing, and I was like, wait a minute, that's all you needed? Because I can keep doing that. And then I just kept pushing the stool around the stage, and they were just exploding with laughter. I was like, this is unbelievable. I don't have to write jokes anymore. I can just push a stool around. And I kept doing it for the long, and then they were laughing so hard, and then they were like, we're really done with this. And I was like, I'm not. And so I just kept pushing the stool around, and they were just sitting there, and then they started laughing again, and it roller coastered the whole,
So great.
My only regret on Conan was that, because I closed my set with pushing the stool around, and I wish I had opened with it and seen how long I could keep doing that and not done
Anything else? Oh, that would have been so bad.
I know, that was my one regret in life. Yeah, is that I didn't push the stool around for 5 minutes.
Did you have to obviously they probably ask you a little bit what you're gonna do, but did you have to explain that at all?
Yeah, the booking agent.
Was he like, what?
Yeah, he was a little confused. I was like, I know it sounds like I'm going to be pushing a stool around on stage.
And that's exactly what.
And that's what I'm going to be doing. But he came to a comedy club and saw me do it the night before I taped. And luckily it went well at the comedy club. And, he had already okayed it.
Yeah.
It was kind of that thing where after I appeared on Conan, he extended an open invitation for me to be a regular on the show.
Oh, good.
So it kind of gave me, I think, this little bit of leeway of, okay, yeah, we like you, we trust you.
I think that's called clout.
Yeah, I guess it's called clout. But when you return the next time after they've given you the open door policy and you say, I want to push a stool around, then it's like, wait, what did we do? Why did we do this? But it ended up going well.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
it was fun.
good.
So people can, if do people listen to this podcast?
No.
Oh, okay. Then I was gonna say, hey, you guys, you should go. You can watch the clip.
This is our sexual fetish.
Oh, okay.
My
Is to have
husband
me
and I
over.
is to have
We don't even air it.
Yeah, this isn't plugged into anything. You guys are just sitting with headphones on, going, Tig Notaro is here. And then you press your little buttons and so I was going to say, if you did have listeners,
Right.
which you don't,
right.
I was going to say, hey, you can go online and you can watch me push the stool around
Yeah.
the Conan clip.
I would highly recommend that. Yeah, it's so great. Wait, so
I can do it here.
oh my god!
I would be more than happy to
I
do
would
it
really.
here.
Maybe we should.
Your floors are too nice, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
We rent.
That's okay. I'll still do it.
Maybe we should end with that. Instead of having an outro song, we'll just have Tig pushing a chair around.
I could push this table off of the stairs.
Trash.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So you rent this house?
We do.
You don't own
rent.
it?
No.
Mm.
Do you own a
You don't
home?
make enough money to own a house?
Well, actually, no, we don't. But
Okay.
we do own a place in Brooklyn.
Oh,
But
okay.
we also still don't make enough money to own a place. But
Oh,
we
okay.
just do.
Okay.
And that place is probably called the Mistake, right?
Yeah, that's the.
Is anyone living in it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Some people live there.
Humans.
Humans.
Humans moved
Scientists.
in. Scientists.
Yes.
Oh.
Which you would think.
Are they scientists?
No. She just thought of that word.
Yeah.
Science.
Scientists live there, and
No, they
Yeah.
are. They are very smart.
well, just because you're smart
People.
doesn't make you
Yeah.
a scientist.
What?
How do you know that?
I
How do you
said
know they're
just.
smart?
Well, by the way, I do.
How do you know about scientists?
I dreamt about them. And
Uh-huh.
then, no, I do know that what they do for a living and their income and whatnot.
What do they make?
Those are things that you find out.
What do they make?
Far more than me, and I think they make like $200,000 a year.
Whatever a scientist makes.
I think
That's what
scientists
they
make 200.
That feels right,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like scientists, there's like a big. You either make like a little money or a lot of money. I feel like there's a big.
Yeah, there's a big divide in the science.
What about the scientists that are like, like their hair is greasy and they're a mess?
Well,
and
I'll
they're,
tell you something, Tig.
what?
This couple who are lovely and they pay their rent on time every month. But
Uh-huh.
I will say
What?
that she's a foot fetish.
Well, no, I guess licking my leg fetish also,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
she does.
which I don't share the fetish.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Sometimes it works and sometimes it
and let's not say who she is. Let's just leave it at she's licking my legs. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so this couple, they're scientists. They make good money, and they're good tenants in the
200,000.
Yeah, that they pay their rent. But I did go see the apartment a couple months after they moved in,
Yeah.
and they are sort of greasy haired, like not big on
Here's
cleanliness.
the thing: when
type.
you have a lot of ideas going on in your brain,
Yeah.
you don't have time to wash your hair or iron a shirt.
That's
you know,
true.
you have.
I
Some,
make time. I mean, I try to make time and
Right.
turn it off.
I guess I'm trying to call myself a genius because I haven't showered today, and I didn't iron my shirt.
And the first thing I thought about when you said greasy-haired scientists was the kids that wore like the Soccer-Saurus shirts. Do you guys remember those T-shirts that was like it was like
Like
always
in
something
childhood?
plus Saurus? Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Maybe that was after.
And Elizabeth didn't hang out with kids
With
that whose
Soccer-Sauruses?
Parents were scientists.
Oh, okay.
It was like
Are
kids
you
that-
also 32?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're 33, by the way.
Oh, 33.
Oh, okay. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
When did you turn?
April.
Oh, just
Wait, when's your birthday?
March 24th.
Hey.
Oh, happy birthday!
It was not a happy birthday, but thank you. No, it was,
Sorry.
I appreciate it, but yeah, it was not. But I turned 41.
I'm gonna wrangle Ruby,
Oh,
What's she doing?
and then I'll be back.
you weren't supposed to. You ruined everything.
Jake, no one knows what I'm talking about.
Wrangling Ruby? You made it really clear. When I hear I'm going to go wrangle Ruby, I think people know.
Shall I not?
I mean, whatever.
I did give it away, but we'll find another thing. We'll find another thing.
No,
together.
we won't.
Hang on.
All right. Are we going live?
Yeah, this is live.
Okay.
It's not
I know it's not live. Come on.
live. Live would be cool though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's like the kids whose parents listen to NPR have
Uh-huh.
Soccer-Saurus shirts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
See, I'm on a show called Professor Blastoff,
Yeah.
and we have to wrangle Aaron, who is my assistant.
Oh, I've emailed with Aaron.
Yeah. Aaron's wonderful. I love Aaron.
And is he involved in the making of the podcast?
He'll outline and research for the show,
Wow.
and yeah, he sits in and he'll set up clips, and usually they're really bad and they're not helpful for the topic that we're discussing, but he's great.
Do you abuse him?
Aaron? No, not Aaron.
No. who do you abuse?
Nothing I want to go into right now, but no, I don't abuse Aaron. Yeah.
Wait, how old is Aaron?
Aaron is 28.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We have a new intern, not for the podcast, but for Andy's work,
Uh-huh.
who is 21.
Oh.
Gabby!
Yeah, shout out Gabby.
I was going to say...
What is your work?
I'm a record producer.
Nice. You produce rock and roll?
Yeah, more pop music.
Pop.
Yeah.
I like it.
Andy's song was played on K-Rock last week.
Yeah.
Congrats.
For the first time.
Exciting.
It's the first time I've had a song on the radio.
I like that.
Yeah. Wait, you were in music.
Uh-huh.
Wait. Can you expand on that?
No.
Okay. Do you have any other regrets besides the Conan one? And I want to propose this to you also, Andy.
In life?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do I have any regrets? Let me see. Well, I dropped out of high school. I failed 3 grades, and I dropped out.
Oh.
And everybody told me I was going to regret that. And the only thing I regret is that I didn't drop out sooner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I felt very stifled.
How old were you when you dropped out?
You know, like...
I don't.
Right. Of course you wouldn't. But maybe like 17 or something like that. A reasonable age to be out
Sure.
on the road and wondering what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And not find anything to do for another 10 years. But I mean, because I had failed so many grades, by the time I dropped out, it was like, yeah, all my friends are going off to college anyway. It seems like I should head out of here anyway.
Right.
But,
Did your parents, were they okay with that?
well, my mother was very supportive. My mother was like a kind of not kind of, but my mother was an artist, very like free thinking and like funny, kind of wild person, and she just kind of supported. I don't know. She thought I was cool no matter what I did, type thing.
That's so awesome.
My stepfather. You have a problem with him?
Just the word.
Do you have a stepfather?
No.
Oh, my stepfather. Well, he's been in my life since I was 2,
Oh,
and he was not supportive.
I knew you were going to say that.
Then why am I here? If you know all the answers, like what am I doing here?
No, I'm so sorry. Continue.
No, that's all. He wasn't supportive, but he didn't get me, and I found out recently. Part of what was not great about my birthday was my mother passed away.
I'm so sorry.
I appreciate that. She tripped and hit her head a couple days after my birthday. And listen, I'm not trying to ruin the vibe here. I'm getting to my
talk
stepfather.
about
Okay.
death all the time.
Okay. So my mother tripped, hit her head, was on life support. We took her off, and she passed away. And we buried her in Mississippi. And she and my stepfather lived in Texas. And on the drive from Mississippi back to Texas, my stepfather, who's never shown any sort of emotion whatsoever in life, was crying, when my mother died, which I cannot explain how unusual that was.
Wow.
And then when we were driving, he was crying and apologizing for, he had told me in the past that my career was a waste of time and intelligence, and that I should be in business school, and just never really supported me. And he explained on that trip back from my mother's funeral that he was just very sorry, and that he never took the time to get to know me, that he never understood me my whole life and never connected to me. And he said that it's not a child's responsibility to make the parent understand them.
Wow.
It's the parent's responsibility to understand the child, and he's sorry he didn't do that.
That's amazing.
Gosh,
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was really amazing, and it wasn't just a lazy apology. It wasn't like, hey, sorry about that conversation or those things I said to you. He really clearly had thought about it, and he's just not an emotional or talkative person, and it was very, very surprising.
That's so. Are you continuing to have a relationship with him?
I am. What I'm running into is there's a lot of different things going on for me because I've talked to him a couple of times since my mother passed away, and before, he didn't call me. It's not like he ever called, and so now it's weird when my phone rings. It says parents, and at first it was jarring and sad, but then I couldn't bring myself to change that to just say Rick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it
that's
was
like
just
a
like
loss.
getting rid of my mother, like on another level.
Yeah,
So
totally.
I just left it, and now I'm fine with it. But it's hard to call home, because my mother's voice is still on the answering machine, and she's not there. So it's kind of hard still. I don't know how to. I think it's just going to take time because it's hard for me to call Rick, and he's called me, a couple times.
Yeah.
It's
a weird thing, like navigating a relationship that didn't exist in that capacity, but
yeah.
But at the same time, you really appreciate what he said, and then the possibility of a new chapter, I guess.
Yeah, it's my brother just went to New Orleans for our cousin's daughter's something or other that was going on in New Orleans, and so my brother went down there, and then he went over to Texas to see Rick, and he just texted me last night saying it was really weird going home, like even though we were obviously just there a couple of months ago, and it was like, okay, our mother died, but it's like now you go back again when it's not the funeral and she's still not there. It's just a lot of getting used to, I guess. But as far as keeping in touch with Rick, we're keeping in touch, but it's not like we're calling every few days or it's still hard to make that phone call.
It's weird. I feel like I actually was talking to my friend about this the other night, about like both my parents passed away, and it was very weird as a young person navigating then.
When you were young, they did?
Yeah, well, I was 19.
Oh.
But it was real weird navigating like who then you spend like holidays with, and so my mom didn't really have that much family, but my dad has siblings who have kids who are our age, but we were never really that close. We didn't spend holidays with them, but I was telling Artemis last night, like the first Thanksgiving after my dad died, we just went there because we assumed that that's like what you do, and I have an older sister who's 3 years older, and it was so awkward because like it was like forcing this weird thing that just never existed and wouldn't just magically exist, but I really sympathize. I think that
you're just like, where do I go now?
Yeah.
Like what happens now?
Yeah. Also, like having awkward phone conversations. I mean, it's awesome that he.
Yeah, and he said, you're doing what you should be doing, and it's a gift, and you shouldn't be doing anything but what you're doing. He said all of the right things. It's just now we still don't have that foundation, but I mean, he was always, like, he was a solid, good person. It's
who tried to kill your dreams.
Yeah, who tried to stomp out my heart and soul, but he apologized.
That's what matters.
When I was 41. Yeah, sorry about all that stomping on your heart. Now that your mother's gone, I apologize. But yeah, no, it's fine. I have amazing people in my life. Like I look around me, and just my friends are ridiculous. Like, bring me so much joy.
I feel like
so much joy.
It's so nice. It's almost better when when you get to pick your family, I guess, and I forget if we went to a party recently or something, and we came back and we like didn't like a lot of the people, and we're so fucking grateful for our friends that we like, because you kind of think everyone is cool, but they're not.
No,
most people, I don't know,
are not,
or just not the same.
They're not interesting to you.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're not scientists.
They're not, and sometimes scientists aren't really who you want to be talking to either. You know, it's not like I want to just run around with greasy-haired scientists all the time.
Oh,
you know,
very different.
You just want to be with greasy-haired scientists.
No, I would feel so bad about myself and my hygiene.
I love a greasy-haired scientist.
Sure.
But I also want to be able to connect with them, like, on comedy and socially, and, you know, I don't want to just, it's hard to find people that are interesting.
Yeah.
I think is what we're agreeing on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you leave a party or you're at a party and it's just kind of this ache in your soul where you're just like, oh gosh.
The way the litmus test for me is if I leave a party and I don't like me. And that's not to say that I need to be like at a party and center of attention and people laughing. Right. That doesn't hurt, but like, if I feel bad about me, I feel like something has been lost in translation.
Like you didn't bring it?
How do you leave a party feeling bad about yourself?
I think I know what you mean.
Like, just kind of down on things, like, or down on myself, like, feeling insecure about things, or, like, wondering if I said, you know, having social anxiety, or...
Oh, okay.
Or even if I'm like, oh, fuck these people. That feels icky to wear, too.
Yeah.
Like, if I leave a party and I'm like, that was fun. By the way, we don't go to that many parties. This is like, there was 4th of July and some other social events.
What'd you do?
We went to a party.
Boring party?
No, it's really fun.
No, it was really fun. And I smoked pot, which I...
Do you smoke pot drugs?
I don't, but I did. I used to.
Okay.
I haven't in a really long time.
Like how long? 6 months?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
6 months.
That's not really long.
Really?
No. I smoked pot a couple of times when I was 15.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a really long time. And have you literally never...
No.
That's a real feat, being in comedy.
I guess so. I mean, yeah, people around me will smoke here and there.
Why did you make a choice to never smoke pot again, or did you...
I just, you know, I'm not really a big drinker. I don't drink anymore, but I mean, I was never really a big drinker.
So that just goes along with that, I guess.
What?
Drinking and smoking pot? Or, I don't know, I would think in a comedy circle, there's lots of pot smoking, but...
There's certainly pot smoking around. I just, I don't know, I just never really got into it. Yeah. And I would, you know, as far as drinking, I'd have a drink here or there, or, you know, I don't know if many people that know me have, like, crazy drunken tig stories.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
That might be really fun.
You assumed I probably smoked pot drugs and maybe I'm a heavy drinker.
No, I didn't.
She did. Yeah.
Just because my hair is a little greasy today.
No, I think I did assume on the pot drugs.
The booze.
Because you're so funny, and I just assumed
that I couldn't think of it without being on the drugs.
Yeah.
The booze definitely has something to deal with, or do with your feeling like that leaving a party. Because like if you leave a party that you didn't have fun at and you were drinking, like the next day you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, if you don't have fun at a party and you're like booze bagging?
Yeah, maybe you drink too much and you wake up hungover. Or if I wake up in that circumstance, I always feel icky about myself. It's not good.
God, the social anxiety gets worse the older... I'm going to make a blanket statement. The older the collective we get.
You think?
Yeah. Do you deal with any anxiety in that sense?
You know what has been brought to my attention very sternly in recent times?
By Rick?
No, not by Rick. That I'm not good at, and I agree. I'm not very personable at first. I'm kind of a little awkward or standoffish.
Okay.
And I don't mean to be, and I'm trying to kind of examine that about myself. And it's really, at a party, it's really bad because there's so many people that I get to be standoffish to.
Right.
You know, so I'm just like,
Are you aware of it at a party? Like,
I haven't really thought about it until this was really brought to my attention, and then now I'm like, gosh, I really, really do that, and why am I doing it? And then I push myself to kind of try to be a little better, you know? I try to smile or something, you know? Whereas, like, my natural reaction is to kind of be a little to myself and then kind of ease into talking to somebody. And I'm just not like, hey, how are you? I'm Tig. Oh, you know?
Right.
I'm like, oh, hi, what's happening? You know, who are you? And what is behind your door number 3? Like, what's going to pop out?
I feel like you're looking through me right now.
You have a door number 3? Yeah. So, yeah, I feel that's kind of like my challenge right now is to kind of work on that and examine it. And not that I want to be authentic.
Right.
Like, that's my goal in life is I don't want to just say, okay, I'm not good at this, or I don't know that it's party anxiety. It's just like person anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it grows at a party, you know, because there's a lot of people. Yeah. So
can I ask how it was brought to your attention in a certain way?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go into it too much, but I just recently became single.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And let's just say it was a person that that I was involved with.
Got it.
That said, you have this thing about you that I cannot stand.
Whoa. Okay.
And it's reasonable, you know. It's like you bring around this person that is not.
You bring around.
You know, you leash up this human and you bring it out. But you know, I acknowledge it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm horrible at that, but I want to get better about it, but in an authentic way.
Right.
And I'm trying to find the authentic way because when I immediately my brain went to, so now I have to try and like get comfortable with going, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for having me. Hi, I'm Tig. Oh, come here, let me give you a hug. You know, just all that kind of stuff where I that didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel right when I did that.
Right,
yeah, no. Yeah. So I'm trying to find the balance, and I'll notice, you know, I was just in New York and talking to people, and I was out with, you know, friends of friends and groups, and I was trying to, you know, be aware of how I was coming across.
Hobnob?
Well, no hobnobbing.
That's not authentic.
What's hobnobbing?
I don't.
Something that sounds horrible. You know, if somebody was like, you want to go hobnobbing tonight, I would be like, I'm probably going to stay home. You know?
I would probably be like, yeah, I'll come along just to see what it is.
Do you guys ever at the party, when you're talking to someone, have the thought like, I know what this person is?
No.
I've had that thought.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking this person wants more. They want more of this awkward distance.
They can't get enough.
They want
What's my outro game going to be?
Yeah, I certainly. Sometimes what's weird is when you think like you're in a groove with somebody and they're like, all right, I'm going to go make my rounds now.
God,
you know, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
Gosh, I wish I...
Yeah, it feels like high school. Like,
Yeah. But, yeah, certainly. I know I'm on the other end of that a lot where I'm like, what about my blank face is making them think I want to hear 30 more minutes of this? You know?
Yeah. Social stuff is weird. It's hard.
Should we end on that?
Yeah.
Bless my nips.
All right. Well, actually, this is a good segue to play our first game.
Oh.
We're going to play Lame or Totally Rapid Fire. Is that bad?
No.
Man, social stuff is weird.
Let's play a game. But first, a word from our sponsors at Comedy Bang Bang. Everyone, please check out Comedy Bang Bang. It's every Friday at 10, 9 Central on IFC. It's an absurd half-hour comedy show that only looks like a talk show. You're in for a treat. This week, Ed Helms. I saw Ed Helms once at LA Mill, and I almost went up to him and asked him to come on the show. I shouldn't have. We didn't get him, but Comedy Bang Bang has him on IFC this week, so be sure to tune in at 10/9 Central. And it's followed by the hilarious show Bunk. That's at 10:30, following Comedy Bang Bang. It's a game show where improv comedians play for inane prizes and non-charitable causes, which charitable causes are nice, but non-charitable causes are also acceptable. Listen to these categories. Crazy categories. Whose crotch is hotter? Shame that puppy. Don't like that one.